Hello and welcome to NewFilmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo and we're here at the Cambridge Los Angeles showroom in West Hollywood, and I'm here with writer and director Chris Coates with his movie Good Boy. Let's take a look at a clip.
You know our dead mother's hand lotion's still in the bathroom, you know that, right?
Caleb.
In Eli's room. What the fuck, Dad? He's not coming back. It's like a tomb.
For those that haven't seen it, tell us a brief synopsis of your film.
So Good Boy is about two high school friends who are reunited as adults. And during the reunion, you see that there's this tension between them, but you're not sure why. So we flash back to this very pivotal day in their adolescence that changed both of their lives. And as the film goes on, you see the day of their adolescence unfold and also the day of their reunion unfold. And by the end, you realize what this very pivotal event was that kind of changed both their lives and their relationship.
And it really is a pivotal moment. Like, I had pain in my heart and I had ugly tears coming out. Like, it was really quite very powerful and very moving. Now obviously you directed this, but you also wrote it. Where did the inspiration come for you to make this film?
A lot of it came from my adolescence and my childhood. I grew up in a very small town in upstate New York. This takes place in a small desert town, but I kind of took the elements of my small town and applied it to that. And you know, I was bullied a lot in junior high and high school, and you know, I was interested in addressing that and portraying that the kind of violence and tension that happens in adolescence, and how it can actually end up like influencing your life, but also other people's lives decades down the line.
Yeah, I think I think it's one of the most powerful things when you can share an experience that wasn't so great for you and then put that into moving image for everybody else to sort of like reflect and appreciate. I think it's just a wonderful thing. You really had a brilliant cast, like all the way through from the flashback with the young guys to the two main characters. How do you come about assembling that cast? Because they were fantastic.
Well, the lead character who plays the brother who comes back from the war, he was introduced to me through a friend of mine, and he was actually in New York, and I was just so impressed by his audition that he put on tape for us that I was like, no, we're flying him out. Like, so he was the first person we got. And then for everybody else, I had a casting director, a guy named Jordan Bass, and he just did an incredible job finding the youth, especially was like, I was just blown away by the quality of actors that he found for the youth and how like they really did kind of look like their older versions. Yeah,
that was quite amazing, actually.
I was like, that was the thing I was the most worried about was like, because they're, you know, it's a short film, so you don't have all this time for exposition. And I was like, just need to make sure that they like, it's obvious who the younger versions of these kids are. And I was blown away by the kids that we found. Yeah, no,
it really was. Now, obviously, this was obviously you had sort of two zones. You had the sort of flashback, and then you had the present. What do you do to sort of like create a flashback? Like, is there anything special techniques that you do? Because we see that a lot in films now, but it really sort of told the story. Obviously, what they were feeling in the present day. Yeah,
well, I didn't want to do anything too gimmicky with like intense filters or like, you know, like I don't know, like a special effects kind of thing. I wanted it to be more artful and try to, especially with the flashbacks here, I didn't have any dialogue, mainly because of time, and I didn't want the film to be too long. So I was like, well, I'll do the flashbacks without dialogue, but how can I like really convey the mood and the intensity of the flashbacks? And so I decided to shoot most of them in slow motion and just really spend a lot of time making sure each shot was so beautiful and so artful and so well composed to like really convey what was happening in the best way possible without having to have dialogue and an explanation.
Well, I did, and that's the interesting thing you say about time, but it didn't need dialogue because it was so powerful in the response of the direction and the response of the actors. So I mean, I think it was a fantastic move.
Yeah, and I like really wanted it to feel like a memory almost, and memories are disjointed. You know, we only remember like the big moments, like when you get spit in the face by somebody, you'll remember that. You know. And so I wanted it to feel like that, where like you're seeing these key moments that would be kind of replayed through someone's memory over and over and over again. But you don't need all the fillers, everything in between.
What was the biggest challenge for you?
Obviously, fundraising was kind of the biggest challenge. You know, I knew I wanted to do this. So Good Boy's based on a feature that I've written.
Fantastic.
And so it's sort of like creating that world, and hopefully we'll expand on it soon.
Very good.
But I was like, I knew I wanted to do it, and I had met all these amazing people recently who I wanted to work on it. So I just kind of dove in, and, you know, I did a little bit of crowdfunding, and it's a full-time job, you know? And it was like, by the end of it, you're just like, I'm sorry, everybody, I'm so sorry to keep asking you for money. I'm so sorry, but like, we're almost there.
Well, you did it.
We did it. So that was probably the biggest challenge, and I think casting too was something that I was like really concerned about.
Of course, well, that was spot on anyway. That was perfect.
Yeah, and it all worked out. So
we have a lot of filmmakers, particularly independent filmmakers, that do share something from their experiences and put it into film. And so, you know, with that being said, and then making the film and the journey, like you just said about making the film, what's it like to then have your film selected for New Filmmakers LA, particularly in the LGBTQ month as well? What is that feeling like?
I mean, that was such an honor to be part of the LGBTQ like showing, you know, as opposed to just a different month. I mean, especially because it's Pride Month. And I'm a gay filmmaker, so it. It was just incredible to be there and to be able to tell this story within that context and in support of other LGBT filmmakers. I couldn't have asked for like a better, you know, showing for that, and also just to see it, to finally have a screening in LA. The cast and crew got to come.
Fantastic.
And just to see it on the big screen, it was like it was a
great.
very different experience for
sure.
me to like it actually, like, I've seen the film, you know, I don't know, probably 100 times. And I actually like was affected by it almost as if I was like an audience member.
Oh, that's
like,
great.
I was like, well, getting a little like teary eyed, like towards the end. I wasn't sure if it was because I was like finally seeing it on a screen or because it was like actually like the actual film that I made was like having an influence.
That's nice. Well, most
me.
is like leave the room. They don't want to be there. So that's good that you felt that
I had
way.
that impulse in the beginning. I was like, I'm going to go to the bathroom.
But no, that's good that you stay. You get to see the audience reaction as well.
Yeah, that was interesting.
So, I mean, it's nice when you've got an LA-based one because you obviously got the great support, which is really fantastic. You mentioned that, you know, Good Boys is that the next thing for you as the feature film?
Yeah, that's what I'm focusing on the most right now. The feature version, so we're just looking for financing and trying to get it out there. Please,
anyone listening. That's very good. Well, listen, your film was so powerful.
Thank you.
I was very affected by it, and you know, I think it's also nice when you can make a film where people can go away and just think differently in their life a little bit, or just have reminders of we've got a lot of work to do to support you know, the LGBTQ community.
Yeah, that's what I try for, you know, I think with everything I write, and especially, you know, I think there's I think I was saying last night, there's been so much progress with, you know, marriage rights and everything, and it just seems like everything is like perfect now, but really there are a lot of like youth still out on the streets.
That's right.
And people being kicked out of their homes and
That's right.
acts of violence towards them. And so I think we shouldn't forget about that there's still a lot of work to be done and
That's
a lot
right.
of care that needs to be given to these kids especially.
Well, thank you for making a film that supports the cause, and be louder and prouder.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, no problem.
Thank you.